Hi, and welcome to AmalgamNation. Recently, I did an apology video for our vid for the fact that I promised a part 2 and a part 3 to Cenarius' children would be uploaded on Monday and Tuesday. Unfortunately, I'm having to re-record them. This is going to be part 2 of that. It's the Centaur lore. So, apologies about that. I was originally going to record this Thursday's vid instead first, and then do the next one, then do part 2 and part 3, and then do the next vid and the next vid, because I have them all planned out, roughly planned out, about how I'm going to do them and in what order. But the next one up after Cenarius' children was the Elves of Azeroth. And there's a fair amount of lore in general about the elves. Then you break it down into subcategories that actually exist in the game. So the categories for that are actually, we have the Night Elf, the High Elf, the Blood Elf, the Fell Blood Elf, the Undead Elf, the Half Elf, the Half Night Elf, the Half Blood Elf, the Highborn, the Half Kaldorei, the Nightborn, the Half Kaldorei, the Highborn, the Wretched, the Dark Fallen, the Banshees, the Night Fallen, Dark Ranger, Shendralar, Troll and Elven Lineage, Naga, Satyr, Harpies, Blood Maiden, and Dark Womb variation of Highborn. Apparently, this is just very simple information just to let you know how much there is to the elves. So instead of doing it in part 2 and part 3s and all that like I've been doing, this one will be named part 2 of the Cenarius' children, and the next one will be named part 3 of Cenarius' children. But I'm going to put them out whenever I can, rather than be starting with with this one today on Thursday. So the next one will be released as and when it's uploaded and ready to go. So be prepared for a swarm of vids. There will be a lot. I won't release more than one a day, I promise. Or one every 2 days, actually. I don't want to overload you with these. I just don't want to be sitting back going, fucking hell, I still haven't gotten past the elves. Because there's a lot to do. And this is a goal I've set myself, is to do these things. So I want to complete this goal. So from now on, I promise you guys a new World of Lorecraft vid every Thursday, and then one roughly every 2 days after that, hopefully. At the most every 2 days after that. But there will be more than one a week. Just not on Sundays either, because that's when I do the unboxings, the World of Fictioncraft vids, and the gameplay vids. I really need to start planning this out a bit more. Oh well, fuck it. And that is a weird intro for World of Lorecraft. So, sorry about this, guys. It's a 4-minute intro. So, this is part 2 of Cenarius' children, the Centaur lore. Centaurs are a half-humanoid, half-horse, warlike tribal race. They abound in central and southern Kalimdor, primarily in Desolace and the Barrens, where they engage in constant war against other Centaur and Tauran tribes. Though rare, the woods of the Blasted Lands in the Eastern Kingdoms were once heavily populated with Centaurs. They are savagery and brutality incarnate. Centaur history. Background. Centaurs originated from Cenarius and or from his sons Zatar and the Centaur. 5 Centaur clans in Kalimdor are the bastard offspring of Zatar, a keeper of the grove and the eldest son of the demigod Cenarius, and an earth elemental, Princess Theradris. They are therefore related to the keepers of the grove and the dryads. Through their Cenarian lineage and the element of earth, the centaurs, ever grateful creatures, slew their father in a bloodthirsty rage, and their mother buried his remains in Maraudon, which became a holy place for the centaurs. To this day she stands guard over Zatar's remains, holding his spirit prisoner. Other centaurs integrated into Zatar's clans, and those that make up other clans, are said to be born from Cenarius or by his son, the Centaur. Conflict with the Horde. Hatred of the Centaur, a Tauran myth, tells how the early Tauran were driven from their ancestral lands, presumably in Mulgore, and forced to wander the barrens of Kalimdor. The Tauran claim that the Centaurs have always existed to scourge the land. When the Orcs first arrived in Kalimdor, they found the nomadic Tauran under constant attack from the Centaurs. Through the aid of the Orcs, the Tauran were finally able to reclaim their ancestral lands and live in peace once more. The conflict between the Horde and the Centaurs continues, however, particularly in the Barrens. The members of the Horde hate them so intensely that they have taken to skinning their corpses and making rugs out of them. Such decorations are a common sight in cities such as Orgrimmar and Thunderbluff. The Horde and the Alliance are both attempting to control the savage Centaurs by encouraging intertribal conflicts, so as to prevent Centaur from banding together and becoming a dangerous force. The Pariah. Despite the hostility each Centaur clan has traditionally had for the others, recently a Centaur known only as the Centaur Pariah, labelled as a heretic by his people, developed plans to unify the clans. Players can aid him in his design by entering the Holy Tomb of Maraudon and forging the Amulet of Union, which he intends to use to bring his warring people together as one. Whether or not the Centaurs would actually be able to consolidate into a unified civilized people remains unknown. If redeemed, Zatar's spirit will also speak of hope for a more positive future for his offspring. The union of the Centaurs may be the only thing that can stop the increasing demonic presence of Desolus. Centaur Origins. According to information in the Warcraft 3 manual, Dungeons & Dragons Warcraft, the role-playing game, Manual of Monsters, and Horde Player's Guide, there is another myth for the origin of the Centaur race. It has been theorized by Night Elves that the Centaurs may have been the direct bastard offspring of Cenarius. However, a couple of sources mention this may just be a myth or legend. According to a Night Elf legend, as told by a Tauran storyteller, it was one of his sons known only as the Centaur who was also the father of Centaurs. Long ago, the Kaldari god Cenarius bore 3 children, the Centaur, the Dryad, and the Keeper of the Grove. However, one son, the Centaur, grew to despise his beautiful siblings, then all other creatures of the world, and challenged Cenarius. The Centaur believed that he was the strongest of the 3 children, and that Cenarius refused to love him and instead doted on his other children. In embracing his hatred and savagery, he struck his father in blind rage, trying to force his father to love him above all other creatures. In retort, the god cursed the Centaur, stripping him of his beauty and powers, leaving him only with his hatred and anger. The Centaur fled in rage and swore a blood feud on all the creatures of the world. He reserved the most of his hatred for Cenarius' favoured children, and thus the Night Elves drew his ire as well. We Tauren too drew his anger, as he was jealous of our strength and power with the world, the same power he lost. His children carry his anger and destroy everything they touch, bearing their father's hatred of all things of the world. The origin of the Centaurs mentioned in the Warcraft 3 manual was likely originally referring to all Centaurs. However, it is now known that Zatar fathered 5 Centaur tribes who live in southern Kalimdor, as stated in the Warcraft role-playing game core rulebook, though it also states Cenarius may have fathered some in the Barrens. World of Warcraft and Lands of Mystery. Although some of Cenarius' centaurs may have integrated into those clans, Cenarius has in fact fathered at least one centaur, according to legend, and may have fathered other centaurs as well. While the 5 centaur tribes, the Kolkar, Magram, Moradin, Gelkis and Galak being fathered by Zatar is explained by a separate legend. There appears to be some truth to this other legend. It is also implied that some of these children may have integrated into Zatar's clans as well. It also explains the existence of other tribes found in the Eastern Kingdoms, the Stone Talons, Centaurs, Centaur Marauders, and the Krenka, for it is said that the Centaur became the father of many tribes. The Centaur. It may also be possible that the two legends are one and the same, in which the son called the Centaur may in fact be Zatar. For all speculation, see Zatar speculation. Okay, so I'm going to have to do something on Zatar later on. Sorry about that, guys. When I'm doing specific characters, I will do one on this Zatar fella. Centaur culture and languages. The nomadic Centaur culture and the term Khan have their roots in the culture of the Mongols. Centaur homes resemble traditional Mongol yurts. Each tribe of Centaurs is led by a Khan, who is generally a leader of above average strength and intelligence. Some of the clans, if not all, practice cannibalism and will eat the flesh of other sapient races as well, such as the Tauren. Centaurs follow a shamanistic faith, but their brand of shamanism is far different from the more gentle practices of the Horde. Curiously, most Centaur shamans are female. Centaurs are savage and brutal, and they often take prisoners. These prisoners are usually eaten. However, rumours tell of Centaurs dragging humanoids of all sorts off to become slaves, forcing them to work in hard-scrabble opal mines. Opals are used to make crude trinkets or are thrown into sacrificial offerings to the spirits. Young Tauren have made something of a game out of this tradition, snatching away the Centaur's offerings and leaving insulting totems in their place. They must be swift, lest they be caught by the Centaur, who leave their gutted remains as a warning to others who would consider doing the same. Filthy creatures, the Centaurs are always followed by swarms of flies, which are attracted by the Centaur's repellent odour. Centaurs have no qualms about leaving piles of dung strewn about their encampments and no concept of privacy. Each of the 5 tribes in Desolace had their own unique tribal colour: black, brown, green, red and yellow. Members used the colours to mark their weapons and their faces. These colours are literally the names of the Centaur tribes fathered by Zatar, but likely refer to the 5 main Centaur tribes: Kolkar, Magrum, Moradin, Gelkis and Galak. The Red tribe, for example, lived in Spearhold. Additional tribal colours found in modern Desolace include blue and purple. Centaurs speak Low Common and Common. The Krenka clan speaks Krenkese and Low Common. A few Centaurs learn the languages of their enemies. Tor Ahe is learned as a secondary language, though a few Centaur primarily speak Tor Ahe. Centaur clans, their locations and some information about them. Kolkar clan. Location: the Barrens, Desolace and Durtar. Levels 2 to 35. Classes they have are the Ambusher, Battle Lord, Blood Charger, Destroyer, Drudge, Invader, Marauder, Mauler, Outrunner, Packrunner, Scout, Stormer, Stormseer, Waylayer, Windchaser and Wrangler. Famous named members of the Kolkar clan include Barak Kodobane, a level 16 guy that has some quest or other. It doesn't go into much detail. Verog the Dervis, level 18 quest. Hezrul Bloodmark, level 19 quest. Warlord Kromzar, level 20 quest. Warlord Kolkanis, level 9 rare. Stonearm, level 15 rare. Broke Spear, level 17 rare. Rock Lance, 17 rare elite. Kaz Dez Hepa, level 34 to 35 elite. Spirit of Kulk, the first Khan, level 43 elite, founder of the clan. Clan Moradin, or Moradin clan. Location: Desolace, Moradin. Levels 33 to 42. Classes: Bonepaw, Khan Advisor, Khan Guard, Marauder, Mauler, Priest, Scout, Stormer, Windchaser and Wrangler. Famous named members of the clan are Khan Hrothgar, level 38 to 42 elite. Spirit of Marados, the 4th Khan, level 46 elite, founder of the clan. Magram clan, location Desolus, levels 31 to 39. Classes include Bodyguard, Bonepaw, Marauder, Mauler, Outrunner, Packrunner, Scout, Stormer, Windchaser, Wrangler, and Spectre. Famous named members of the clan include Warug, a level 44 quest, Khan Jen, level 37 quest, Spirit of Magra, the 3rd Khan, level 43 elite, founder of clan. Clan Gelkis, location Desolus, levels 28 to 36. Classes include Earthcaller, Marauder, Mauler, Outrunner, Scout, Stamper, and Windchaser. Famous named members of the clan include Uthek the Wise, level 44 quest, Khan Shaka, level 36 to 37 quest, Spirit of Gelk the 2nd Khan, level 41 to 42 elite, and founder of the clan. Galak clan, location Mulgore and Thousand Needles, levels 5 to 37. Classes include Assassin, Flameguard, Marauder, Mauler, Messenger, Outrunner, Packrunner, Scout, Stormer, Windchaser, and Wrangler. Famous named members of the clan are Achelios the Banished, level 31 rare, Spirit of Veng the 5th Khan, level 47 elite, founder of the clan. Outcasts, location Desolus, levels 38 to 40, classes Necromancer. Famous named members of the clan: Centaur Pariah, level 42, quest and friendly. Clan Kranka, location Barons, classes Shamans, Warriors, Hunter. Famous named: Forgol Kranka, founder of the clan. They are only in the RPG though. Marauders, only in Warcraft 3. Location Barons, classes Archer, Sorcerer, Outrunner, Champion, Drudge, Impaler. Famous named: Khan Bloodhoof. Stone Talon clan, location Stone Talon Mountains, classes Sorcerer, Outrunner, and Impaler. Leader Centaur Khan. Desolus tribes. 5 barbarous Centaur tribes dominate the entire region with the strength of overwhelming numbers and unequaled ferocity. Each tribe is led by one of the dreaded Khans and is known by a distinctive tribal colour: black, brown, green, red, and yellow. Members use the colour to mark their weapons and their faces. The Khans who lead each tribe rarely have contact with each other except in times of war. Thank you for listening. I think that's enough about the Centaurs. There's a little bit more, but not much that hasn't already been said. So once again, thank you for listening, and as always, remember, play the game and game to play.